The truth lies as we have just gotten proof that Alex Mason is alive in Black Ops 6, and we're going to explain everything you need to know. Ever since the initial reveal of Black Ops 6's campaign, one of the biggest questions has been whether Alex Mason is still alive, and the reason for this is that Black Ops 6 takes place directly after the 1989 flashback missions from Black Ops 2, wherein the iconic flashback mission Suffer With Me, you as Frank Woods accidentally shoot and kill Alex Mason. However, depending on where exactly you shot Mason determined the actual outcome if he was alive or not, where if Alex Mason was shot in the head, then yes, he was indeed no longer alive. But if you shot Mason in the leg, Mason does not have a bullet wound in his head. Despite all of the characters assuming he is dead, he is actually still alive. He goes into hiding, and it's not until late 2025 where in one of the endings, Woods actually reunites with Alex Mason, who is now an old man and someone who we assumed and thought was dead but has been alive all along. For 12 years, we have never known exactly what the canon ending of Black Ops 2 was, but with the reveal of Black Ops 6, it was confirmed by TREYARCH and Raven Software that the canon ending is where Alex Mason dies, which means Alex Mason is shot by Frank Woods in the head. When this was first revealed, a lot of people were skeptical and weren't sure to believe it, but this was reconfirmed in the first episode of the COD Pod in this clip here.
And it's also directly tied to Black Ops 2 that are set in the 80s, and that obviously includes Hudson and Mason dying. Yes, they are dead. I am sorry. We knew. But I did see a lot of people confused about that. They're dead. So unfortunately they died, but having worked so closely with Woods, obviously devastating for him, for Frank Woods.
However, today Call of Duty have dropped a Black Ops 6 story so far trailer, recapping all of the events from Black Ops 1, Black Ops Cold War, and Black Ops 2 to get us up to speed with Black Ops 6. But it's during this trailer we see the events of Black Ops 2's campaign in 1989, where a CIA operation in Panama ends tragically when Woods was tricked into shooting and killing his best friend Alex Mason. However, in the footage that we see of this moment, we see Alex Mason not only stumble on his knees, which only happens if you shoot him in the leg, but when Mason's identity is revealed in this trailer, we see the version where he's shot in the leg. There is no bullet wound, there is no blood, and this shot only happens when Mason is shot in the leg. What makes this even more confusing is the narration literally says when Woods was tricked into shooting and killing his best friend Alex Mason, but yet the trailer shows us the version of events where we the players know that Alex Mason isn't actually dead. And just so we are incredibly crystal clear on this is what it looks like in the recap trailer, and this is what happens in the Black Ops 2 campaign. Again, if you shoot Mason in the leg, when we get that reveal, you can see that the shot is identical. We see no bullet wound in his head. We don't see any blood. This is the exact same shot that they used in the story recap trailer. However, if we now jump over to the version of the campaign where you shoot Mason in the head, this is what he looks like when it's revealed. Clear as day, you can see the bullet wound in his head, you can see the blood, and we obviously know the repercussions that follow from this moment. And we've been told until this point that this is the version of events that is canon. This is what's happening going into Black Ops 6, but yet the crystal clear canon version that we're seeing in this trailer shows that Mason wasn't shot in the head, and we know that if he's not shot in the head, then he doesn't die. Considering this is a story recap trailer which contains entirely canon events in every Black Ops game for Black Ops 6, I don't think it's a mistake for them to use this version of the events with Mason, and is the first concrete proof that we have had to suggest that in fact Mason might actually be alive in Black Ops 6. And as stereotypical as most people have been when it comes to accepting Mason's death in Black Ops 6, the tagline "The Truth Lies" has been throughout the entire game. It's on every blog post, and to me there is no stronger story thread in Black Ops 6 that relates to this tagline so well as to the mystery of Alex Mason. And like I've mentioned, it's been expressed multiple times throughout the last few months that Alex Mason is 100% dead in Black Ops 6, and the canon version of events is where he doesn't survive the Black Ops 2 flashback. But it is getting harder and harder to accept this as actual truth when this is like the 4th or 5th time that it's been reiterated to us that this is what's happened, and this trailer suggests otherwise. Now, if we go a little bit further in this story recap trailer follows immediately after this moment where we see Hudson killed in the Black Ops 2 flashback as well. There is no version of the Black Ops 2 campaign where Hudson isn't killed. This happens regardless if Mason is shot in the head or not, and that gets its own storyboard part of this trailer to show that yes, Hudson is killed. That is clear. We want to make that extremely clear. But when it comes to Mason's death, that is not also part of a separate mood board in this trailer or made clear. The only thing that you could say is clear is the narration, which says
1989, a CIA operation in Panama ended tragically when Woods was tricked into shooting and killing his best friend, Alex Mason.
And of course, it doesn't get any clearer than the narrator saying those words. But if the narrator is saying it, then why are we being shown that version where we clearly know that he doesn't die? Following this recap trailer, we also got a blog post detailing everything in the story, and that also mentions that Woods takes the bait and shoots Nexus 1 only to discover that he's been tricked and has executed his friend Alex Mason. But if we look a little bit deeper into this is strictly true no matter what ending you get. We, the player, believe that we, Frank Woods, have killed Alex Mason, and we believe that throughout the entire campaign, regardless of what you decide to do, because the game tells us that Mason's dead. So for all intents and purposes, in 1989, we believe that Mason is dead, and going into 1991 in Black Ops 6, Mason will still be treated as dead because in 1991, he was still considered dead. Regardless if he died or not, if he didn't die, we still think he died and he instead went into hiding. So until the year 2025, Mason is dead regardless to us, even if he is or isn't. So until we get a Black Ops game set in the future in 2025 onwards where Alex Mason could make an appearance, only then can it really actually be confirmed if he truly is dead or not, because until that point, the world considers him dead regardless if he is or isn't. I'd love to know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below, because I don't remember the last time that we as a community have been actively speculating for months on end if a character in a campaign is actually alive or not, and us being told information might actually be completely false and that the truth lies. If we even go back to the Black Ops 6 beta, there is a calling card that shows a bunch of our favorite Black Ops heroes, but we have Mason and Hudson both marked with KIA. Hudson is 100% KIA. His death in Black Ops 2, there's just no way he survives that. We also see on the timeline officially that Hudson killed KIA, but Mason, they aren't doing the best of jobs trying to convince us that he isn't still alive. And it's fair to say that even Raven Software know that this discussion will still be a thing, because when quoting this trailer on Twitter, they quoted it saying, "Woods did what?" Question mark, exclamation mark. Which is obviously a big tongue-in-cheek reference to what happens in the Black Ops 2 flashback mission, wanting us to be confused and question if the truth lies and if Alex Mason really is still alive, if Woods really did shoot Mason in the head. At this point, I honestly don't really know what to believe. As I mentioned earlier, the point still stands that even if it's explicitly made clear that Mason is dead in Black Ops 6, regardless if he did survive or not, the world thinks he is dead. So technically, they're not wrong by saying that. But if we are getting a game in the future that's taking place after Black Ops 2, then that would be an incredible shock and surprise to see him return, where in fact that ending where he survived was actually what was canon, because the world thought he was dead until that moment. We won't know the true answer until we get our hands on the Black Ops 6 campaign for ourselves, but with the inclusion of BOCW prison in Black Ops 6, the connotations there with Mason, I mean, it's just insane at that point to have such an iconic part of his backstory in the game and him not actually exist anymore. And what's crazy is in the blog post, when it comes to the Vorkuta breakout with Mason and Reznov, it's mentioned that Reznov and Mason are separated, not that Reznov dies in the Vorkuta breakout, which Hudson explicitly tells Mason is the series of events that happened during Black Ops 1. So with all the speculation and concrete proof that Treyarch have left that Reznov is still alive after the events of Black Ops 1, this just adds a ton more mystery to the Black Ops 6 campaign that hopefully we'll get answers to. But if you want to see the video proving that Reznov is still alive and will feature in the Black Ops 6 campaign somehow, then click this video on your screen right now.